Hello and welcome to this video by MENNEKES Elektrotechnik GmbH & Co. KG. In this video, we'll show you how to network the AMTRON Professional charging systems and AMEDIO Professional charging stations to a charging infrastructure. This will require the charging systems to be installed. For the configuration, you will also need a laptop with administrator rights and a USB or Ethernet cable. To network the AMTRON Professional, you will first need to insert the included USB Ethernet adapter into the wallbox. Please refer to the information in the operating and installation instructions. The AMEDIO Professional charging station comes with an integrated Ethernet port at the bottom right next to the terminal connections for the feed-in cable. If you're networking several professional charging systems to each other, they will need to be connected to a central router or switch via a shielded Ethernet cable. This is always done in a star connection setup. The maximum cable length of 100 meters and the maximum number of 100 charging points cannot be exceeded. All charging systems with a built-in ECU electronic control unit charge control can be connected and operated within a single charging infrastructure network. For this to work, all charge controls need to be running the same software, updated to the latest version. The easiest way to set up a charging infrastructure is to use an ECU as a DHCP server and to network the charging stations via a switch. Select a charging system that you want to configure as a DHCP server and switch off the other charging systems or disconnect them from the Ethernet switch. To configure this, connect your laptop to the charging system and open the web interface. Now click on the Network menu tab and set the Show LAN Configuration parameter to Show. Now set the Ethernet configuration mode parameter to DHCP server. And save this setting by clicking the Save button. To activate the newly configured mode, the charging system needs to be restarted. Once a charging system is configured as a DHCP server, you can switch the other charging systems back on or connect them to the Ethernet switch. The Ethernet configuration mode parameter is set to Automatic DHCP in the factory settings. The ECU, which is set up as a DHCP server, now automatically assigns IP addresses to the connected charging points in stages. The IP addresses begin at 172.16.23.100 and end at 172.16.23.254. The IP address of the DHCP server ECU is always 172.16.23.1. The charging stations are now networked through a simple switch and accessible via the respective IP addresses. Setting up a network with several professional charging systems is one option. Another is to integrate the charging systems into an existing network. The Ethernet configuration mode parameter is set to Automatic DHCP in the factory settings. This means that all ECU charge controllers are already configured as DHCP clients. As soon as you connect the charging systems to an existing network, dynamic IP addresses will be assigned to the ECUs by a router in the network that is configured as a DHCP server. Warning: a router can only assign dynamic IP addresses if the DHCP server has a sufficient number of free IP addresses. For business Ethernet networks, always consult the IT system administrator. The charging stations are now networked and integrated into an existing network. The web interface of each charging system in the network can be opened via the end device by entering the respective IP address in the Internet browser. If you don't know the IP address, you can find it by performing a network scan or looking on the router's web interface. The ECUs can also be assigned static IP addresses instead of dynamic IP addresses. To configure this, connect your laptop to the charging system and open the web interface. When doing so, make sure that the router or switch is disconnected. Now click on the Network menu tab and set the Show LAN Configuration parameter to Show. Now set the Ethernet configuration mode parameter to Static. Enter any IP address, for example 192.168.0.2, in the field next to the IP for static network configuration parameter. Enter a network mask, for example 255.255.255.0, in the field next to the network mask for static network configurations parameter. Please note, the assignment of IP addresses within business Ethernet networks, such as company networks, is often strictly regulated by the IT department. Always consult the IT system administrator before implementation. Delete the contents in the Gateway for Static Network Configuration parameter field and confirm the configuration settings by clicking the Save button. To activate the newly configured mode, the charging system needs to be restarted. You can now configure all the other charging systems in the same way. Warning: the following address ranges cannot be used as static IP addresses: 192.168.123, 192.168.124, and 192.168.125. In addition, the IP addresses of the ECUs should be unique and consecutively numbered. To prevent address conflicts, an IP address cannot be assigned more than once within a network. Once all charging systems have been configured, you can connect them to the router or switch. You have now finished setting up the network.